Okay, door number one. We got cut off there after I showed you the meme image that came up for you. And I think we got cut off because maybe you need a little more time to really just get clear on your next step. And I feel like there's a need for you to cut off the distractions, cut off the interference, cut out the noise, just really so you can drop in, feel out the right step for you to take. And the right step is the step that actually feeds your soul. And then we have, of course, the three different messages that came in for your meme cards. And I'm going to read each of these to you. We have, when you realize you've just watched 8 straight episodes of diners, drive-ins, and dives. Okay, so what I'm really getting with this is, remember that message with the writer. You're about to go on an adventure. I really feel that you need to get out there. You need to hit the open road. There's so much for you to find, discover, so much opportunity. Like your new door, this is one of your keys, okay, to open up the door that leads to your new chapter. All right, you need to get out on the road. You need to get out of your usual environment. There is opportunity for you outside of your usual environment. You got to get your ass up. Stop, wasting a bunch of time sitting in front of the TV, messing around online. It's time to really get out of this like sort of disconnected experience and get more deeply connected. I mean, I think going to reflect, spending time in reflection, getting out into nature, getting near a body of water, which can be really cleansing. It can really help you, especially if I feel like you're dealing with deaths in your life. I feel like you are dealing with a tower moment. I feel you are having the truth revealed to you, and it's not necessarily the easiest to fucking swallow. I feel like it's a bit of a bitter pill, but at the same time, you recognize that by really embracing this truth and not lying to yourself anymore, it opens up a whole new potential of freedom for you. And it also makes you feel more in alignment with who you really are. It's like you're finally ready to look at it, and you're finally ready to embrace this truth and accept it, and then step into what it awakens inside of you through this acknowledgement, okay? But in doing that, it's like it's time to get out there. It's time to actually start living your life and not be in this isolated kind of like hermit energy where you've been just caught up in your mind and trying to make sense of things and feeling so confused. It's like that's a delay tactic. It's a way for you to prevent yourself from actually moving forward. Okay? By you just being spontaneous and just shaking off the need to have all the answers and just getting out there, putting yourself out there, putting yourself in situations that make you a little uncomfortable. There's some opportunities out there for you, but they require you doing things in a way that is not familiar for you, and maybe allowing yourself to be seen in a way you haven't let yourself be seen before. Some of you are opening up to the realm of video. Maybe you're wanting to do a podcast. Maybe you're wanting to put yourself on YouTube. Maybe you're wanting to put yourself in a position where you're required to step up to the plate and be seen in front of an audience, whether to share your music or to share your poetry or to share your production. I feel like some of you are involved in theater. Maybe you've been, working on a play. Maybe you are stepping into acting. You've never done that before, and you're letting other people see you like this. It feels vulnerable. I do feel like there's something about letting a side of yourself be seen that hasn't been seen up until now. And this this sort of takes you from this place of like living vicariously, right? Living vicariously through just getting, sucked into that, wormhole of the internet and, television and sort of like this fantasy land. And it's actually making the fantasy reality by getting yourself out there and entering the flow of life and being willing to take some risks and letting people see who you are, letting people see who you are as you are. And I think that you're ready to do this. I feel like you're really ready to do this, and it's a very positive step, and it's a key for you. Yeah, because when you realize Space Jam came out over 20 years ago, I mean, clearly time is ticking, right? Time is ticking. The future is now, man. The future is now. And I feel like you realize you can sit here, you can reflect, and you can look back and you can try to understand why things went down the way they did, for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, how long you got. You don't know. That's the point. You don't know. You don't know how long you got. So it's time for you to really move into this expansion. Stop sitting here at this bardo. Stop spreading your flowers over the dead. Stop honoring the dead and like move back into life again so life can give you your flowers. Like, this is the message really coming through. And it was 6:44 on the clock when I said that. This is about you finally realizing why you're here. And it's not to like sit and brood over the past or look back with resentment over, the things that went south or didn't turn out the way you didn't want them to. It's about trying to appreciate what it awakened in you. It's awakening this realization in you now, isn't it? That you're ready for more, that you're worth more, that you're here for something more than this petty drama bullshit you've been putting up with. I mean, just that theater, that theater quality came in. I mean, I think a lot of you have been dealing with drama. And this one came out reversed, okay? It came out reversed, but I'm going to show you it upright, okay? When you realize that the most supportive person in your life is DJ Khalid. Now, here's the thing with this. I feel, first of all, there's somebody in your life that you didn't value. You kind of tossed them aside, You didn't appreciate this person. You didn't understand what a support this person was to you. And I think that you are starting to have an epiphany about this. You've reflected on this. And you might be getting ready to do a turnaround. You might be getting ready to reach out to this person to make things right, all right? Well, what I will say in regard to that, just with how your reading, opened, is, do you want to take this for another haul? Are you ready to go another long, hard mile with this? For some of you, this is like wanting to revitalize something that you really should just let be done and dusted. Even if you did, not value this person, maybe that's the lesson you were supposed to learn from that person, to value people in the future, right? I mean, you might want to reach out to this person and express some things from your heart with them, but understand that that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to move forward with this person. And that's something that's coming forward. Sometimes it's good to get things off our chest. If there's words left unsaid, things you feel like you need to say, just so you aren't, hauling that around with you and having it slow you down, okay? But I think there's something that's coming through here, and again, letting yourself be seen in your truth. I I think some of you, I'm getting this just with the DJ message here, some of you are involved in music, and you've written music about this. You've written music about this whole healing process you've been going through, realizing the ways that you put your time, your attention, your heart into people and situations, dreams, that they all just turned to ashes, ashes. They all fell down, and it may seem like you're sitting here looking at nothing. Like, what was it all for, right? What was it all for? This is a pretty reflective image here, wondering what's the meaning of it all, and feeling held back because you realize you discarded somebody that you actually really value, but you couldn't understand their value until you lost them. This is the message I got. 11:11 on the clock when I said that. You might be feeling the urge to reach out to this person and express some words that you never said, okay? And so we're looking at this card here. Oh, yes. And I believe that this is the case, okay? Because we have Theta of Venus coming forward, okay? Theta of Venus coming forward here. So this really could be speaking to Libra, Taurus collectives specifically. You may be dealing with a Libra or a Taurus. They're both ruled by the sign of Venus. But we also see that this is something very heart-centered. This is very much connected to love. I think that you're deeply reminiscing about somebody that you shared a real heart connection with, a real soul connection with. I feel like this is somebody that, even though you're apart, even though there's distance between you, there's almost like this telepathic connection. There's you can feel each other's energy, and your connection is so strong that there really isn't anything that separates you, time, distance, sometimes we have soul connections like that. There's the theory of the red thread, and you'll find the story of the red thread in cultures all over the globe, okay? But it's believed that this thread of destiny, this red thread of destiny, connects us with our soul tribe, connects us with the people, our soulmates, that we're meant to share the journey with, the people that are valuable to our soul's evolution, our spiritual growth. And that, people always think soulmates and they automatically think love, love relationships. But sometimes that's not what it's about, Sometimes a soulmate can be the person who really hurt you, who took you right into the center of your wound, but that was their job. That was their job. They were there to show you the shadow so that you could gain the strength and the empowerment to rise above that and integrate that experience and gain the power, the empowerment of stepping into that place of integration. I know that may seem like a lot to digest. Sometimes it's just a matter of acceptance, okay? But there's something about this, about having a deeper awareness, and by giving over, there's really this giving over energy here. Even though it's feeling this connection, there's this softness, there's no fighting. Remember that competitive energy that was coming through. So I'm picking this up very strongly for water sign collective, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. I feel like there's a part of you that's just there's no need to struggle with anything anymore. what's meant for me flows to me. I don't need to get into competitive situations anymore. I don't need to struggle and fight. You know, I am ready to just be soft. I'm ready to be open. I'm ready to be in a place of open receptivity. I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to be in this space where I feel safe, where I don't feel like I have to, you know, I have to hold on so much. I don't have to have control. I can really just like let go and give myself over. Some of you are also taking time to rest and nurture yourself, you know, just give back to yourself because you've been so busy caring for other people and other situations. So I really feel like this is such an important key for you to move forward. It's by you moving into this space of just softness, nurturing, trusting, you know, giving back to yourself, and letting things unfold as they need to, without having to have the answers, and even for some of you without even having a clear sense of direction right now. Let it be okay that you are feeling the call to head to a new horizon, even if you don't know what's on that horizon or how to get there. The more that you spend time just being quiet, softening, cutting off distractions, I'm really getting this water connection. I feel like, you know, taking lots of salt water baths, you know, and cleansing your energy with cleansing baths, spiritual cleansing baths, you know, maybe working with a little Florida water, you know, um, doing this like cleansing with waters. I got rose water too, um, as a valuable essence to work with. Even putting a little rose water, pure rose water, okay, just roses and water. Um, Even putting a little rose water in your water that you drink, like drinking in that rose essence, which is very anti-inflammatory. It's very cooling. It's very cooling for the emotions. It was 1717 on the clock when I said that, okay? I feel like you've been more fiery, and it's that energy of just like cool it down, just cool it down a little bit. You know, cool it down. Instead of like blazing a trail to go forward, it's more about like almost moving into this energy of water, and water has the ability to, you know, etch a way forward, form deep ravines, right? You know, look at what it did with the Grand Canyon, okay? Water is powerful, but it 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 takes its time. It flows. It doesn't charge forward the way fire does. I feel like there's this need for tempering, and I just saw that temperance card in my mind's eye. But I feel like this is the key for you in moving forward, because I think there has been a bit too much of this like in the head energy, and wanting to sort of win, you know, wanting to stake your claim, wanting to make your mark, make your point, you know, in some cases, make your point with people who've hurt you, you know. And I feel like it's time to come more into the feelings, you know, which requires you come into your body. You can't feel what you feel, and you have to feel to heal. You do. You have to feel to heal. You cannot move that energy out until you hold space for it. You know, pain, it all it wants is to be witnessed. It just wants to be witnessed. It wants to be held. You know, so in order for you to really be able to move forward, it's about allowing yourself this space to just sink in, feel it, and turn it over and let it carve its way through you, so that that light has a channel, you know, to emerge out of the womb. Woo, out of the womb. Whoa. I mean, I feel like some of you are about to give birth to something. You're about to give birth to something. very, very transformational in your life. I'm picking up creativity so much with this pile, so much, and something to do with expressing your truth and letting yourself be seen in this. It's so powerful, and it gives birth to a whole new direction in your life. And maybe that's what these difficult experiences have given you. They've given you a very powerful truth to share that's actually going to bring a lot of healing to more people than you realize right now. And this is a big part of your purpose. So, it's sort of like that saying, someone once gave me a box of darkness, and I realized that this too was a gift. I feel like that's the place that you're arriving at now. And so there's really a need to sort of like, take what's turned to ash and, compost that shit. Compost that shit. Go ahead, pay it its respects, scatter some flowers on those graves, and plant new seeds, and allow, what rises up out of what, had to be released in the past, let what rises up come into beautiful bloom. Let it be the foundation of growth that carries you forward. And I believe there's medicine. There's medicine in what you've been through in the past. It's almost like there's medicine in your story. There's medicine in your story. And some of you are going to write books, and some of you are going to do public speaking that's connected to healing work around this. I just got TED Talks. Maybe some of you are exploring this. It does involve you being seen. It does involve your words. And some of you are working on albums, and it's very vulnerable, and it's really outside of your comfort zone. But this is what carries you forward. 22:11 when I said that, okay? But first, there comes the release. There comes the ending. And part of that release for you, I believe, is through your words. Through your words. Through speaking your truth. Through saying those things you never got to say to that person that you didn't really value, that you now realize was such a supportive influence in your life, to, putting it out there creatively, letting your words be expressed through your music, through your songs, through your poetry, through the novels you write, the screenplays you write. There's something about this, but I do feel like there is a big moment coming for you all. It's a game changer. It's going to put you in a bit of a reflective space, but it births something really beautiful that's going to benefit a lot of people. And this puts you in alignment with your purpose. But there is a letting go process here, for sure. There's a letting go process and a need to honor the los grandes muertes, the big deaths in our lives. They're not always physical deaths, Sometimes we do have to say goodbye to those that we love, Sometimes that is through a physical death. And some of you may be integrating the loss of a loved one. And in that case, I just wish to say love and comfort to you. And take your time with that. And grieving processes, whether you're grieving a physical death, or whether you're grieving an emotional death, or even the death of a belief system or way of viewing even yourself, that takes as long as it needs to take. I do feel like you have been sitting here for a long time, though. And so what I'm really getting with this reading is this is your gentle nudge to use your keys, to create your space for self-care, to create your water rituals, to give yourself the opportunity to soften by holding that space for yourself instead of expecting it from other people. by fulfilling those needs for yourself, by going to nature, letting nature hold the space for you. And when you do this, it drops you into your body, it drops you into your feelings, you get in touch with your intuition, it helps inform your next steps forward. And I also believe it bursts something very powerful in you that is meant to be shared. And this is your new direction. And it comes from the pain you went through in the past. It's going to bring you beautiful, beautiful gifts. It brings you home. It brings you home. So that is what I have for you, pile one. Thank you so much for dropping in with me. And I just wish you lots of support, for you to feel support all around you as you take these steps forward and as you release the things that you need to release in order to be able to move into that place of softening and openness where you can receive all the beautiful gifts that want to come in for you right now, that will help make it clear why you went through what you went through, exactly as it happened, and how it's actually perfect.